Big, beautiful, new 374 Roamer by Open Range here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. If at any point you'd like to learn more, such as total length or tank capacities, or the equipment option package we have on the one we have in stock, because it could be different from this one. Or if you want to see if we even have one in stock, because this is a popular model, visit the link in our video description if you're just on YouTube that says check for price and availability. That'll whisk you away through the interwebs. It'll show you exactly what we have in stock and exactly what we're asking on this model. Normally, I try to do a big bang up video job of the first one of everything that comes in. This is actually the second one. The first one came in and sold so quick it went straight out back. I never had a chance to touch the camera to it. I should give you an idea what we're looking at here. She's not small. Not by any means. This she weighs about 12,300, by the way, so you want to be a good 3/4 ton and up. But if you're looking for a really big, beautiful, well-equipped family bunkhouse, this is an awesome option. And it's now the name Open Range you can use interchangeably with Highland Ridge. You'll hear this actually be called the Highland Ridge Open Range Roamer 374 BHS. I knew them when they were just called Open Range, so that's the word I tend to use for simplicity. It doesn't really matter your preference, it's the same thing. They've always been very not industry standard, very interestingly equipped. Like a lot of RVs you see today have these nice magnetic baggage doors. They have the big pass-throughs here. Things like these magnetic baggage doors. Open Range was one of the first to bring this to the forefront of the industry. Now, a lot of brands have pass-throughs like this, but because these are built a little bit taller inside, they got you a little bit taller exterior storage without the extra weight and cost of a drop frame. Nothing wrong with drop frames, but it all adds up. Now, little detail stuff. If you start looking through here, you'll notice how the exterior skirting wraps all the way around to the I-beams. This is fully skirted. They don't do, a lot of brands will do a drop skirt and then it kind of arcs inward and you assume it goes all the way to the I-beam, but when you look under here, there's a big pocket. Well, that's a big pocket of insulation loss. You know, now I've got a protected thermal gap in here, an air pocket, which is actually a good insulator. Well, then you get under here. You know, in a lot of things, this has an enclosed underbelly. This is forced air heated, insulated, and cyclically heated. The underbelly heat of an Open Range actually comes in from the furnace, circulates through the underbelly, then goes up and heats the bathroom floor. And that air circulation is one of the reasons these guys have basically the best proven cold camp rating out there. Brands can pitch, oh my lord, I think the current leader I've seen is an R52 rating. To give you an idea, an R52 rating has to be 22 inches thick. There are no RVs with a 22-inch thick roof. Don't, you know, R factors, that's a good way to get yourself confused. You want true published hard data. That's what you can trust. These guys cold chamber their RVs. They actually test it from 0 to 100 degrees at a 0-degree exterior for 24 hours with the inside thermostat set on 70. They maintain 62 degrees in the underbelly. That has never been surpassed to my knowledge. So I say with confidence, these guys have the best cold camp ratings on the market. There's other things that'll stay above freezing just fine. These guys just do it better. Now, you're looking at this going, why are we staring at 20-pound propane tanks? Well, this actually has 3 20-pound tanks. This side here, you have 2 of them, so they slide out where they're easily accessible. All 3 tanks are hooked up simultaneous, so you do have a 60-pound capacity, but 20-pound tanks are lighter weight. They're easier to exchange. If it's Sunday and you run out of propane, no big deal. Go to the gas station and swap one out. It's simple. Now, big front compartment down here, you can see my nice red battery box there. But notice that this is already ready for 2 batteries. It's already ready already. It wasn't there. What was it, like Easy Rice or something like that? Had that slogan? Already ready already? Doesn't matter. Another thing, these guys brought wide body to the forefront. They made wide body cool. Industry standard RV is 8 foot wide. There's nothing wrong with that. 96 inches. This is 100 inches wide in the body. And a lot of people say, big deal, 4 inches. What does that matter? It matters. Every single room is now 4 inches larger, and their bathroom design literally wouldn't be possible without its extra wide body. Now, on top of that, that rear slide out and this door side super slide are deeper than industry standard. They are 42 inches deep as opposed to a standard 36. So now the RV in the rooms, in the bunkhouse and in the living room, they're almost a foot wider than industry standard. So it adds up. That 4 inches is part of the equation. If you isolate any one, there's no one thing on this RV that says that's the reason to buy it here. It's the combination of all these things. That's why we like them at Haylett RV, because they have so many cool, different, unique qualities. And those are the things I'm pointing out here. A lot of, I'm not talking about, okay, it's got a shower and a toilet and a fridge. Who cares? I want to talk about the things that make this different. Now, because the body is wider, that means that it could be a little tipsy on the campsite. That's why they have dual front and single rear jack leg stabilizers, so that you stop the wiggle shift laterally and horizontally, or well, longitudinally. Pardon me. I said it doesn't matter. ATM machine, same thing. Now, on their fifth wheels, they use the nice little T-handles on these. On the travel trailer open ranges, they use a little hex nut, which is the same as the drop leg anyway. You don't care. I don't know why I'm talking about that. You're looking at a fifth wheel. You probably don't care. My point is consistency. Open range builds everything basically the same. They're all built the same way every single time. And that consistency is what has allowed them to develop their identity. Along with the really uncommon features like the baggage door drops down instead of flips up. And you're like, so what? Big deal. Well, it makes it real easy just to swoop in here and get to your cargo, get to your battery disconnect, get to your automatic leveling controls. You've got your privatized, enclosed, heated docking station. Right next to this, we have our 10-gallon water tank, which gives you something like 20 to 22 gallons per hour of recovery. So that's another thing that in this size fifth wheel, you don't always get that. More common than it used to be, but not always. All lights, inside, outside, every side are LED to give you cooler running, longer lasting, superior capacity. Oh, pardon me. You know what? They actually do put a drop frame on this model. I mixed that up. The Roamers didn't used to do that. They do that here. So there you go. I'm not afraid to admit when I make a mistake. I'll point that out. It's part of having integrity. People make mistakes, but you fix it. You stand behind it. Equal flex suspension. Why do you care? The answer is the leaf springs in this suspension are designed to absorb shock vertically. This absorbs shocks from front to back, so you don't get that herky-jerkiness up in your vehicle. Now, notice too, little things like this little galvanized steel wheel well right here. This is a blowout protection guard. It's also helping deflect road spray off the tires so it doesn't get to the bottom side of your slide out. Your slides, by the way, all aluminum framed, laminated. Walls, aluminum framed, laminated. You've got a lot of aluminum framing here. You have constructed plywood decked floor and constructed total crazy walk-on roof with all sorts of load-bearing guarantees. If you live in a place that has a really heavy snowpack potential, these are going to take care of you. The rear dismountable ladder is an interesting thing. You can leave it permanently affixed, but some people are like, oh, I like to put bike racks or things on the back, but the ladders get in the way. Open range gives you the ability to take that off. You can just throw the ladder in the belly storage and be good to go. Pardon me. A couple of little construction detailed differences. Our screw trim, corner trim, is aluminum. Listen, that's not plastic. Why do you care? Why does that matter? Well, there's nothing necessarily wrong with plastic screw trim. It gets the job done fairly fine, actually. But over time, once the warranty expires, heat expansion and contraction from this beautiful sunshine we're enjoying today will wear that out. The sun is the #1 enemy of anything petroleum-based, guys. Well, aluminum doesn't have that problem. That corner is going to retain its shape far better than plastic screw trim. And while we're talking about something different and petroleum-based stuff, I want to talk about the roof membrane up here. They don't use the same EPDM or TPO or whatever roof skin you want to talk about. Instead, it's actually a pliable PVC roof membrane. It does not chalk. So, and it does not grow black algae, so you don't get black streaks down the side of the trailer. The roof skin itself requires no maintenance. So this is, right off the bat, a lower maintenance coach. Now, you still have seals. There's still base maintenance upkeep. Just like, I don't care how fancy of a vehicle you purchase, you still got to change the fluids, guys. You still got to check seals now and then. You're never off the hook on that, and just be smart about it. I love this outside kitchen, and that is one of my favorite parts of this. I call it the backwards bunkhouse because the big slide is on this side. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But it gives you a very private outside kitchen experience because you can kind of be over here sort of chilling and grilling and hanging out, and the slide is sort of like a visual break point. So you have a nice little secluded privacy space back here, something I like. Now another thing they do, you've got this, you see this big cabinet I have kicked out here. This is awesome. But if you flip it down, you see TV mounting bracket area, and they leave you a nice little feed hole for your cables. Well, I mean, you know, you can put a nice little flat screen on here. You can have some outside entertainment if you're so inclined, and just knock it out and have just a great old time. Bigger outside refrigerator, because, you know, who doesn't like a couple extra barley pops and bottles of water on hand? They've even changed up their outside cooking scenario. Next to this, you see, even outside, they have plywood boxed drawer construction. This is the same style of drawer construction you'll see inside. Nice clean look when it puts away too. But you see, these are a formed metal, not wooden. So if you spill stuff or it gets humid out here, which it gets more humid outside than inside, you know, it's going to hold its shape. It's not going to fall apart. And the surfaces are where moisture likes to collect. Because I've had people say, yeah, but this is wood. Sure. But if there is moisture, it tends to gather on a flat surface where it can pool. This is easier to clean and maintain. High output burner with two low output burners. That gives us the ability to actually really cook out here. Low output burners are a little easy to blow out, so you don't quite have that hiccup here. And this is actually your propane connect right here. The way that they did this to meet all code requirements is really cool. There is no separate hose that can get caught up and kinked on anything. It's all plumbed, pre-wired, wummed. That's wiring and plumbed mixed together. And you can look that up in a definitionary, by the way, available at HayletRV.com. I've got a lot of my little goofy mashup words, guys. So we also have a real outside sink here as well. You know, you have a real drain. You don't have to flip the dog bowl out. In case you're curious, there are little power outlets up here. If you want to have a little griddle, you want to have a blender, make a margarita o'clock, you can do that here. And I do also like that this overhead cover doubles as our rain shield effectively. This is also a nice point to be able to see that gel coat on the skin there, that glossy skin. So a lot of people historically have said, I don't want slides on this side of the camper because they eat up my awning space. Well, we understand that at Haylet RV, and apparently so does Open Range. That's why they put an extra awning over here. You're actually gaining a surplus of awning space that you otherwise would lose out. If this had no door side slide, you wouldn't get this total huge, like this is what, roughly like a pair of 12-foot awnings. You've got a 24-foot patio, guys, with full LED lighting, and if you look, both awnings have a flex guard wrap on them. If I get real close, there's a good spot, you can see it. It kind of does the same thing as like an aluminum shielded awning. It protects the awning membrane itself, the awning material, from the brunt of weather exposure. Now, the difference between this and the aluminum tube is water can blow down that aluminum tube and sit there and pool. This squeezes the awning, so kind of like a tube of toothpaste. It keeps the water from getting in. Bigger quad steps here, because this is a big fifth wheel. She sits high. It's got a high platform height. So you've got a quad step outside plus the final step inside. You could call it a quint if you please, but aluminum. They're more sturdy. They don't corrode. They're lighter weight, and they're easier to see at night. It's easier come and go in this camper. Oh my gosh, this one's going long. There's a lot of unique things to talk about on Open Ranges, though. For instance, that's, you know, the screen door here. There is no screen door. Instead, they integrate the window and screen directly into the door. So now you have one less thing, one less handle, one less hassle, and there is a privacy shade. What do we got here? Oh my gosh. 14 minutes in and we're going inside. The good news is you guys can take the little track bar at the bottom of the video and sort of skip ahead and back as much as you want. So there are different interior decors and options available. Again, this is how one 374 Open Range at Haylet RV looks. What is this? Probably the hazelnut decor, I believe. This is not necessarily how every 374 Open Range at Haylet RV looks. A lot of people, when I first saw this floor plan on paper, I said, you're going to walk in and it's going to feel small because you're not going to look at a super slide. But I tell you what, they proved me wrong. I never feel cramped or like I'm going without or condensed in here. We'll come back to the kitchen in a minute, because the bonuses you get in the kitchen with the big slide over there and just the kitchen slide over here, it's actually the kitchen that benefits. The living space really doesn't change all that much. You've seen this sort of super duper party couch. Well, this thing only does everything. For instance, You see that you've got spaces here for dining tables. There's another one over there. The tables store in these nice little kick-out extensions, so you don't have to go digging around for your stuff. It's all centrally located, or you can just use them as massive storage. Now, sitting here, we've got a lounge for this just ridiculously huge flat screen entertainment system. Anytime you're sitting down, any seating area in this super slide is ideal viewing angles, guys. That's what I like about this. We've got our Bluetooth soundbar, DVD, stereo system. All of your electronics are a Furrion, so they all talk to each other. You pop a disc into that player, and the TV goes, oh, you want to watch a movie? I'll kick over to DVD mode for you. You don't need to get the remote. I got you, buddy. I got you, fam. Anyway, down here, and I love how they elevated this. So it's very much like a, this doubles almost as your shoe garage or like a hearth in a sense. But this is your 5120 BTU, the bigger 5100 electric space heater that we call a fireplace in the RV business. Not the smaller 4K, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's better than nothing. But have you noticed something else on this slide that's different? Have you noticed how this is a completely carpetless floor flush slide? That is a big thing that I like about the open ranges here at Haylett RV. That is a completely unique facet these guys have patented. So this is a completely carpetless main deck here. There's the tiniest amount of carpet in the bedroom just so your feet don't get cold at night if you get out. That's it. That is it, guys. This is a very easy cleaning thing. The middle section, by the way, is either storage or a hide-a-bed. The whole thing bifolds open, and it's like, what, 6.5 foot long, so even tall people can sleep on the middle. Although if you just pull the cushions off the back, you could easily sleep a couple people head to toes right here. This can actually be a pretty impressive sleeping space. Now, I like how they have equally sized windows. They all open for ventilation, and because the slide's deeper, they could go with a wider window, so you're actually getting better airflow here as a result. Now, because we have a hard 90-degree bend right here, that's an aerodynamic nightmare. But you're not pulling it down the road with the slide open. You're enjoying an aerodynamic nightmare because it catches more cross breeze at your destination. This bigger slide does a lot for you. And because the slide is deeper and taller, they can still give overhead storage at open range where a lot of brands cannot. This is something at Haylett's I've seen just die. It just doesn't seem to really exist anymore. Overhead storage and big slides. Real quick, while we're looking up here, I want to point out something you don't see, and something you really don't hear as much anymore either, and that's the air conditioner. These two vents are your cold air return. It's a whisper quiet AC or quiet cool. I've heard it called a couple different things, but anyway, depending on who you talk to, it's 70 to 90% quieter. It's significantly quieter. So when we do have the whole family in here on a rainy day, enjoying, I don't know, SpongeBob or whatever, I like SpongeBob. Anyway, you don't have to crank the TV up. I really like how they really dressed up this entertainment center. And this is not, listen, that's not wallpaper, by the way. I've heard someone say, oh, they got that ugly wallpaper. It's not wallpaper. Skylight for extra ambient light. If you are cooking up a storm in the kitchen, you do have a power vent fan, and it's got a nice wall controller, so you don't need to be 9,000 feet tall to get to it. You know what? We're going to finish off the kitchen. This one, we have optioned in the gigantic residential refrigerator with the 1,000-watt inverter so that you can keep things cool going down the road. This is a huge model. Generally speaking, at Haylett RV, what we have learned through our experience is that people with open ranges tend to be parked for longer times. We feel that's the ideal case for the electric fridge. There's benefits to both the gas electric versus the residential only. There's benefits both ways. We've actually done videos on that. You can search our channel to learn about those. For a big floor plan like this, we felt that this was the better way to go with the extra cold storage. Now, you still have the giant residential size microwave. I love the full-on stainless down here. Now, this floor plan in particular, it is not easy to show on a still photo all of the storage built into this island. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, so you guys could see all the storage we have going on right here in the island, plus a couple sponge drawers. Close these up. Now, by the way, these are all solid surface countertops in the Romer kitchens. They do all solid surface on the island, on your supplement counter spaces. This has a lot of square foot of counter space, and there are outlets all over the place in here, and you'll see more of those as we go through the video. Stainless under here. They've gotten away from the solid surface sink covers because either people weren't storing them or maybe dealerships weren't properly educating their customers. I'm not sure what it was. It doesn't matter. Open range eliminated the problem. The problem was people didn't store them in transit, so they sat here rattling going down the road, and they broke. You can rattle this thing to death all day and it ain't going to break. Plus, now we have the perfect little vegetable prep station. You know, under and around the oven. I love that they don't waste space, and they don't give you a knuckle buster door that drops down. They give you a full-on drawer. And my favorite little pull-out perfect pantry. You don't have to take a knee and go shoulder deep like you're birthing a calf to get back in here. The storage comes to you. Simple, slick, and easy. But this right here, this extra storage, is where this version of the, I call it the backwards bunkhouse, I feel reigns supreme, and I love that you have a dedicated closet light in there. So you've got all kinds of great space, and notice they didn't bring the shelves all the way here. So if you have tall things like a broom, you can leave those here. And discerning eyes may have noticed washer-dryer prep down here. In this floor plan, the washer and dryer is not making a raging racket up in mom and dad's bedroom. Just ridiculously huge storage. This is what you don't get when the kitchen slide is on that side and the super slide is over here. You lose so much kitchen storage. And we might as well finish the kitchen out. Speaking of storage, we got a bunch more of it. Plus we got 4 more drawers here. So this floor plan has at least 8 drawers with all kinds of storage going on below there too. And again, they're all, of course, full extension, easy access. They didn't make any of them short and cheaters, and, you know, I'm not trying to hide anything. Oh man, I gotta pick up the pace. Little, I don't know, what would you call it? Curio cabinet? Just a little corner cabinet back here. Great for extra kids storage, really, because it is right next to the bunkhouse. Now, if you've watched and looked at Open Range for a while, you might come back here and say, boy, this feels familiar. This is actually a somewhat redesign of an old toy hauler that they used to make. And that is part of the reason that we're enjoying this extra half bath back here. So this is a giant, you know, well-insulated, huge family bunkhouse with an extra half bath in here and an outside kitchen. A lot of RVs can say almost all these things, but very few can say all of those. Now, even when we get back here, you see the bigger vent fan, so you can get some excellent airflow even back here. And I do like the wainscoting, kind of the little etching on the doors. This is an ideal rainy day coach, guys. If you're going to be like living in something where you're going to be in extended periods, this is the arrangement you really want to start zeroing in on, because this can fold down into an extra bunk. And if you visit our video or our picture tour at the Haylett RV website in the description, you can see that I have it set up that way. So we've got, and because this is a deeper slide, remember, these are bigger bunks. Bigger kids will fit better up here, guys. Don't forget those extra details. Deeper slide, wider body means more room everywhere for everybody. And that means instead of a tiny kitty dinette, we have a full-on true 4-person dinette back here. 4 adults can sit back here. And if you start looking, you see that the dinette storage is easy to access. You notice that it's all aluminum framed. It is built to be a long-lasting critter. But this bunkhouse also has something a lot of bunkhouses do not, and that is storage. You've got a couple big drawers here. We've got 3 more huge dresser drawers right there. I mean, you've just got an absolute truckload of storage that we're looking at. You want to give the kids their own entertainment area? You can do that back here. You've got extra storage above. Whoops, I bumped the power button. Anyway, we've got another area up here for a big kid bunk. If you start throwing in additional air conditioners, you can occupy this vent with an air conditioner if you want. So you've already got, you can see plenty of ductwork back here in the bunk room for that. But anyway, so down here, this is called kind of the party room package. These pillows can just get tossed on the floor, or the kids can use them, whatever. And this turns into another big kid bunk. They only have bigger sleeping spaces in here. And if you start looking around, you see extra little things like the USB plugs for the kids to keep their toys charged up. This thing's got it all back here, man. This has got it all. Moving forward, and I like that even the bunk room has a light switch. Detail stuff. Alright, so we've really killed the living room and kitchen already, and this video's gone long, so I'm just going to kind of give you a nice quick sweeping panoramic view of this thing. By the way, to achieve this current camera angle, I do have to just literally stand in the slide. This is not a head-knocking slide. Full, walk-in, comfortable slide room. Most of the upstairs does not look dramatically different from most open ranges. The bedroom is a little different, so I do want to spend some time up there. The bedroom had to be different for a couple reasons. So, tons of legroom, porcelain foot flush, seamless one-piece molded shower that is self-reinforced that a grown adult can literally jump up and down in, and I've done it in videos before. It gives people a heart attack when you do it, but you should realize I do it because there's nothing that... Do you think I would risk jumping up and down in a shower to damage an RV? No way. Why would I risk breaking something that you were going to buy? That would be stupid. I am only going to do something like that if I'm 110% sure it is not going to break. So you got to kind of investigate. Why don't I jump in some of the other RVs? Why do I jump in open ranges and only a couple brands? This extra storage area right here and the second bedroom door, these things would not be possible without the wider body nature of this open range RV. Now, a lot of people say, well, yeah, but there's not a lot of counter space next to the sink. That's because the counter space comes to you. Sort of like that pantry in the kitchen there. Now we've got additional drawers up here in the bathroom. And a big adult-sized sink you can actually just really get your hands into. Little detail stuff, too. I like that the bathroom door has a little door stopper, so this handle doesn't smash that window. And there's actually a motion sensor in the bedroom. So if you get up at night and you want to come down to the hallway, it will kick that light on for you auto-magically. So this is one of the very few, I can only think of one other, Roamer by Open Range that does not have a bedroom slide out. It is purely due to size and weight reasons. This thing weighs 12.3. They just couldn't add the weight of another big slide. So they went, but what you do get is a big closet storage slide in here. Now, I like that they have the extra drawers. I like that it's taller, deeper than most closet slides. They still do that bigger and better. By the way, this is a full stand-up height bedroom. There is no ducking in here. Now, this is still a king. You can still option a king bed into this. Normally, that would mean you couldn't walk around the bed. But hey, we can get around the bed. That's because open ranges are wider body, so they can get away with doing that even without the bed in the slide. Now, look at both of the side stands real close. What do you see? You see household outlets and USB outlets on both sides of the RV. And by the way, you can, when you get the second AC option, you can kind of choose where it goes. In this particular coach that I'm touching, we added the second air conditioner in the bedroom because we figure that, you know, this is, since cold air flows down, you need extra cold air in the bedroom before you need it in the bunkhouse, because cold air will tend to flow back toward the kids. I mean, it's all centralized everywhere, but there's still an issue of thermodynamic flow. This makes more sense to us. You could probably, in theory, tack on a third AC to this, though it's not. It doesn't have a smart power system to be able to juggle air conditioners. And TV hookups over here against the wall, by the way. My lord, this has got it all, and then some. I mean, and then some. Give us a call. Haylett RV only does everything, so you don't have to. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, accessories. Oh, geez, everything in between. We only do everything, guys. We'll deliver this to you. If you need a truck to tow this beautiful beast, guess what? We also specialize in late model, low mile, heavy towing trucks. We only do it all, so you don't have to. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. Happy camping, everyone.